you guys are looking for a place to get some reliable Ultimate Team coins, be sure to check the link in the description below to cointraders.co and use code LEGACY for 5% off of your purchase. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. So there are, well, I would have said there are, but maybe there aren't. There aren't apparently a lot of franchise players in the NHL. Only a select few are actual franchise players. In fact, the select few, unless you're Connor McDavid, you are not a franchise player. You have to be, I guess there's a threshold in EA games. You gotta be at least 25 years old to qualify as a franchise player. I guess it takes 7 years to figure out if you're a franchise player. Unless, you know, you come into the league and you're Connor McDavid, of course, who was obviously a franchise player 6 years before he was even drafted, so EA is able to give him the franchise potential. Besides that, though, I don't really know what it takes to get franchise potential in this game, unless you're old. I guess you gotta be old, which is weird because when you get older, the potential goes down. But this is all of our guys in NHL 19 that have franchise potential. We have taken them out of the league. We're gonna see how this shapes the league up. And I gotta say, there is a lot of guys I can't believe didn't make this. Malkin being one of them. As long as he's been around, he didn't make it. There are no goalies with franchise potential. Even Carey Price, who they love so dear in this game. Tampa Bay, a team, they lost two guys. You know, they lost Kucherov and they lost Stamkos. There was nobody on the Blues, nobody on the Sharks. Well, the Sharks lost Erik Karlsson, but they didn't lose Burns. That was good for them. Who was another team? I think it was Toronto. Toronto did not lose Austin Matthews. I was kind of surprised by that one. You know, even Vancouver, they didn't try to squeak us in a franchise potential in Pettersson there. You know, hometown boy over there for EA. Now he's got to earn that franchise potential as well. I can completely understand why he's not. Other teams, there was nobody. Boston might have been the biggest surprise when I looked at the potential of them all. Patrice Bergeron's got top 6 forward potential. So does Marchand. I mean, at least Pasternak's elite, but that's crazy. Point per game players, kind of low potential there. There's anybody else on there? Nobody in Carolina. The Blackhawks, like we said, had Kane. Colorado, again, a bunch of young guys, but, you know, you're not 25, so you can't have franchise potential. It'd be crazy if that's a thing. You gotta be in a league long enough for EA to think you're a franchise player. That could be a thing. That could be a rule. I don't know. You guys have to let me know. We'll see what happens next year. NHL 20 comes out. Maybe it changes. You know, there are no franchise players on the Blue Jackets. It was, like we said, it was McDavid. The Kings. The Kings are another team that lost two. The Kings and the Lightning both lost 2 players. Nobody else lost more than 1 player, though. So we're going to go ahead and sim up the season and see how this goes with every franchise player taken out of the league. Obviously, goaltending hasn't changed much, so we should still see about the same amount of points being scored, you know, minus our dominant players in the league. How about that, though? You take all the franchise players out of the league, the Predators and the Blue Jackets, both rocking the highest overalls. Go Blue Jackets, baby! Again, though, this is the end of the year, or the beginning of the year, not the end of the year where the Blue Jackets lose all their players, but hey, you know what? That's why the new game's coming out soon, right? We're supposed to get some NHL 20 news here pretty soon, which should be great. Everyone's favorite topic's gonna be talked about, the good old puck pickups. And apparently when you're skating fast and you're streaking down the ice, there's supposed to be better pickups with that as well. So we'll see what they have to tell us about. I'm sure there'll be like a nice cute little video article, maybe both, explaining the things changing for NHL 20. But you guys know how puck pickups are. You really can't believe anything until you give it a try. It's such a difficult thing to, I guess, program. I don't know how to do it. I'd be kind of confused to do it too, I guess. I can understand the difficulty in it, I guess, trying to program puck. I don't know. I've been doing it for so long, though, trying to figure it out. If they could figure that out, that'd be fantastic. Puck pickups and some of the bounces that just kind of glue onto people's sticks. It's so weird in this game, the puck pickups. When you actually stop and think about it, is you got the puck pickups, right? And they're difficult to pick up the puck when you're like throwing passes to your teammates, right? Or if you're the user. But when it comes to a computer, those suckers, they don't miss nothing. That's like they got a big giant magnet on their stick. So it's almost like they just need to like tone down the computer's puck pickups, take the, you know, the information that computers do for puck pickups, throw them on human players, and it'd be like we have a problem solved or something. I don't know. It's crazy when you think about, if you really think about puck pickups, how the computer can pick the puck up without even looking at their back, turn to the puck, and it just magically glues to their stick. They can reach around, you know, do all that other stuff. Puck pickups for the computers are just nuts. That's, you know, like we would have a problem solved. Maybe it might be a little too overdone. I honestly think the computers might be the extreme wrong end, to be completely fair. You probably shouldn't be able to pick up a puck when you're not looking. That's just me. Now, personally, if I'm, I don't know, driving down the road backwards without look, okay, that might be a bad example. It sounded good coming out though when you started to think about it. Yes, the best way to say it is, you know, most people don't have eyes in the back of their heads, but that's some pretty sick coordination. If you can sense the puck coming through like your ears and just kind of have it magically glued to your stick like it does in NHL 19 like that, that's crazy senses. That's got to be part of franchise potential, right? You got franchise potential. That's got to be part of it. That has to be part of it. Oh, we're coming up to the conclusion of this season, though. We'll see how our league turned out without any franchise player. Did you see the Vancouver Canucks? They had 40-some wins. They might be a playoff team this year. Took some big names out of the league. That might help them. The crazy thing is a lot of these players with franchise potential are on teams that aren't making playoffs every year. Did you notice that? We had the McDavid. We had, who was the other guy? There was the 2 guys on LA. Ovi made playoffs, obviously. Crosby made playoffs. Crazy, though. 2 of the franchise players, both on LA, and they could make playoffs. So look at the points in the standings real quick. Granlund, look at the Grandy man go. Still wearing that Minnesota uni for those Nashville Predators right there. Maybe he forgot. Wrong division, or wrong team he's playing for in the division now. Looking at the standings, though, Malkin says, you don't want to give me franchise potential. What you think about this, EA? Kessel right behind him, 86. Tarasenko, Kovalchuk. Sims up really well in these games. For him being older, he's always putting up points. Pasternak doing great as well, 77 points. Kuznetsov, Sagan, McKinnon, Taylor Hall, 72. Gaudreau, 71. Parise, 70 points. Bouncing back. There you go. Backstrom. No Ovi. Still putting up 70 points, 55 assists. Good for Backstrom going out there. Getzlaf. That's the same for Kuznetsov now. I forgot about bringing that up. Both of those guys no Ovi this year. And they both did really well without him. Eric Stahl had 68 points. Shifley was down here a little bit farther. Besser, 68. I wanted to see where some of them Vancouver boys were. Being that they look like a playoff team. Alston Matthews, 65 points. That is a really low season. 37 goals. I say not a lot of goals. That's a pretty good amount of goals for Austin Matthews. That's about right. 35, 40 some for him. Typical Austin Matthews. Sometimes a little higher than that, though. Division winner for the Central was the St. Louis Blues. The Blues, again, a team lost nobody. The Jets, none of these teams lost anybody besides the Blackhawks. It was a team that didn't make playoffs. You look at the Pacific, it was the Canucks with 98 points. I thought they had a good season. 96 out of the Golden Knights, and then 111 out of the Ducks. Again, 3 teams that didn't lose any players. It was San Jose that did lose players. Edmonton lost players. LA lost players. None of them could make playoffs without their franchise players. You go to the Atlantic, you have Boston, Ottawa. What is Ottawa doing up here? Sometimes I think we just throw a dart at the board sometimes for these teams making playoffs. Montreal and Florida, though. Also 2 teams making the playoffs. Tampa Bay losing those 2 players. They couldn't do it without him. Toronto losing Tavares. Apparently, they couldn't do it without Tavares either. Even though they did have just as many points as the Panthers. Lower row couldn't make playoffs. Unfortunate for the Leafs. We go to the Metro. The Penguins. No Crosby doesn't matter. The Capitals. No Ovi doesn't matter. 2 teams that could go ahead and still make playoffs without their franchise players. The Blue Jackets and the Flyers were the other 2 teams that made playoffs. Was that the only 2 teams that made playoffs that did not have their franchise players? I think it was. There was nobody in the Central. The Pacific had Vancouver, Anaheim, and Vegas. So the only 2 teams that could still make playoffs losing their franchise players were the Capitals and the Penguins, 2 of the most dominant teams in the league over the last 10 years. No surprise there. We got some simming to do. It's going to be not Wayne either, but the Nashville Predators going up against the Ducks in the first round, and they're going to go out there and take care of business pretty easily, the Nashville Predators. The Canucks advance into the second round. Upsets everywhere for this season, it looks like. But the Canucks, that's it. Thanks for playing, Canucks. I had to talk you up a little bit, but you're gone. 4-game sweep. Winnipeg, how you doing? Didn't lose any players, and it shows because you were going to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, and you're going to take on this team, possibly, if they beat you. Otherwise, we won't know who they played until afterwards. The Winnipeg Jets. We will find out later. It's the Winnipeg Jets. Who would have known? Take away all the franchise players, and the Jets that are like 18 elite players are going to be the team that wins the Stanley Cup. We'll take a look at this playoff picture here real quick. Take a quick little peek. It was my Blue Jackets. Man, I love EA this year. They treat the Blue Jackets really well. I don't know what it is, but they really like the Blue Jackets in this game, and I respect it. 4-1, the Blue Jackets lost in the finals, so that'll do her. Montreal made it to the second round, no. It looked like the Flyers upset the Bruins as well. Blue Jackets upset the Capitals in the first round, now that we talk about it. Same with the Penguins. Those franchise players didn't matter in the regular season. We got the playoffs, though. Taking big hits out of those boys. That is not the button we are looking for, but it is nice to know Granlund still has 55 points on his season. We'll take a look at some of these awards. No Ovi this year. Somebody else has to ruin the Maurice. The Art Ross going to Malkin. Like I said, Malkin going out there with a little chip on his shoulder this season. Shabbat with the Norris. No wonder Ottawa had a great season. Look at the Simon for Shabbat. Lady Bing going to Kessel. What a nice guy. You know, no wonder he's always begging for trades. He's too busy trying to be a nice guy in the ice. He has to vent somewhere. Elias Pettersson with the Memorial as expected. Conn Smythe going to Wheeler. There you go, Wheeler. Vesna going to Bobo. Gibson getting to Jennings. The Master Ton going to the Kaiser. Franklin J going to the Bergeron Selke winner award person there. Ted Lindsay with the Malkin. Mauricio Short went to Tarasenko. Tarasenko's a really good goal scorer in these sims as well. Seems like if it's not Ovechkin, Tarasenko tears it up sometimes. But that concludes this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, a thumbs up would be appreciated. A subscribe would be appreciated if you'd like to. You don't have to, as always. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.